Camden Council did a piece of work last summer called the Equalities Task Force and found that a number of people, particularly mothers but others as well, were excluded from the job market by the high cost of childcare. So we wanted to look at what we could do around flexible working to be able to convince our employers that are based in the borough to take that on as well. Timewise accreditation came up as an idea whilst we were working through the issues of flexible working with Timewise. We did a full review of our HR procedures and we identified a number of changes that we needed to make. Often, almost all of our flexible working was as a result of requests after people had started working for us full-time on normal hours. And we really wanted to change that, and so we wanted people to feel, prospective employees, to feel that they were able to ask for different working arrangements at the point of recruitment. So really we're at the start of a journey and trying to help all of our line managers and all of our employees understand what good flexible practice is and how people can deliver while working flexibly.
Timewise worked with Camden Council to help them to really mainstream flexible working, both in terms of how they deliver their services and also how they support their workforce and they attract talent and they build efficiencies in the way they operate. And we did that by helping them to develop a series of improvement plans. So we started with leadership, looking at how they could make a genuine leadership commitment and disseminate that message out to their workforce and the community. Then we looked at what they can do in terms of workforce, so looking explicitly at their HR practices. Then we looked at what they can do with residents, so looking at how we can help to facilitate them to be able to create more flexible jobs for local residents, particularly women who need flexible work to fit around family life. Then we looked at employers, so how they can really shape their messages in terms of what they've done on flexible working and drive change within the community and amongst other employers in the local area. And then finally, we looked at supply chains and really helping Camden to think through how they can use their leverage and their influence to affect those in their supply chains and those they procure to also embrace flexible working. So all in all, it was an overall strategy led from the top right through the organisation and out into the community, and it was an approach that we took with them to really help them to achieve accreditation. Camden are now the UK's first Timewise Council.
My name's Sarah Montgomery and I'm Senior Manager for Improvement at Camden Council. I currently work 32 hours a week, spread over 4 days, and there is flexibility around the times at which I start and finish my working day. When I saw the advert for this role, there was mention of flexibility, so I felt quite confident that putting an application in and making a request for my current working pattern would be considered seriously by the council. I'm very positive about flexible working. For me, it balances the desire to continue to develop my career and spend precious time with my young daughter. In return, Camden has employed somebody with 13.5 years of experience working in central government with ministers as a private secretary. By working a flexible working pattern in this role, I am able to be much more focused during the time that I'm in the office and deliver the outcomes that Camden is seeking from me.
We identified that there were issues with the way that certain managers manage perhaps by presenteeism rather than through outcomes, and we've started to think a bit more carefully about how we might be able to support managers to look at performance through what people are achieving and rather than the specific hours that they're working in the office in particular. We've already seen a significant increase in the people who are actually expressing an interest in working more flexibly for the council at the point that they apply for jobs, and so far we've managed to accommodate all of those requests. It's one of the things that allows us to attract the best candidates to work for us as an organisation. It allows us also to have a social impact in terms of poverty within the borough and to ensure that we're able to reach some of those individuals who wouldn't necessarily have felt they were able to apply for full-time opportunities with an organisation.
We're really pleased to become the country's first Timewise Council. One of the reasons for getting Timewise accreditation was to enable us to demonstrate across the borough to other employers that we are leading the way on this, so we can go to our other big employers, public and private and voluntary sector in the borough, and say, look, there are massive cultural shifts here, there's a massive challenge in Camden in terms of child poverty and equality, and actually just keeping up with business trends, you need to be thinking about doing this. And if we're going to ask other employers to do that, then I really believe we need to lead by example. And so in 5 years' time, I hope we will have a holistic, top to bottom, bottom to top approach to flexible working, and we will be able to lead a cultural shift to flexible working in Camden.